Do you ever notice how certain older adults seem to fade away quietly before they turn 82, despite appearing strong and healthy not too long ago? The cause isn't always obvious medical conditions like heart problems, tumors, or tragic accidents. Instead, there's a much quieter danger that most people completely overlook. My name is Dr. Andrew, and I've dedicated more than 3 decades to understanding aging and helping older adults not only extend their lifespan, but truly flourish in their later years. Working with countless patients and studying extensive research has revealed hidden warning signs that the majority of medical professionals completely miss. What would you say if I revealed that one of the strongest indicators of whether you'll live well beyond 82 has nothing to do with your heart rate, blood sugar levels, or how often you exercise? The answer lies in something most seniors rarely discuss, something many have given up on due to embarrassment, anxiety, or simply not knowing the truth. Right now, I'm going to share a secret weapon for remaining energetic, self-sufficient, and cognitively strong throughout your 80s, 90s, and even beyond that milestone. The wonderful news is that you won't need costly prescriptions, grueling fitness routines, or restrictive meal plans. This powerful resource already exists inside you, just waiting to be rediscovered. Please stay with me, because in the next several minutes, I'll guide you through straightforward but life-changing actions you can begin using right away to restore your energy and vitality. I guarantee that the final section might completely transform how you view the aging process. Before we go further, I encourage you to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you won't miss crucial health guidance, created specifically to keep you strong, energetic, and living independently. If this information feels important to you, please comment with the number 1. If you think we could do something better, write "improve" in the comments. Your input helps us serve you more effectively. Now that you recognize how important this overlooked health factor really is, let's explore one of the quietest yet most destructive dangers that seniors face today. A hidden crisis that drains energy, compromises physical strength, and cuts life short far too early. The gradual loss of physical intimacy and bodily connection. When I meet with patients who are in their 70s and 80s, I frequently notice a subtle melancholy in their expression, a quiet acceptance that somehow life has grown more limited, less warm, less fulfilling. Through my years of practice, I've learned to identify one of the most overlooked yet harmful changes that occurs as people grow older: a slow withdrawal from their own physical selves, from the bodily joy that once energized them and made them feel truly alive. This topic isn't something most older adults feel comfortable discussing openly. Yet, it's affecting people everywhere, stealing their life force, often without their awareness. Somewhere in our culture, a harmful myth took root. The false belief that physical closeness, human touch, and intimate expression are only meant for younger people. That after reaching a certain age, we should silently abandon that essential part of being human. Many older adults have accepted this message, convincing themselves that wanting or experiencing physical pleasure is somehow wrong, embarrassing, or no longer achievable. Some step back because their bodies have changed, others due to emotional wounds or grief, and many simply because they don't realize it's not just possible but essential for lifelong wellness. Most people don't understand that this withdrawal creates a quiet, downward cycle. Without consistent physical stimulation, circulation decreases to important organs. The brain pathways connected to pleasure start to weaken. Hormone levels begin shifting in harmful directions. Gradually, the body loses its strength and resilience, not only in intimate ways, but mentally, emotionally, and physically overall. Rest becomes poor, mood drops, energy disappears. Eventually, even the body's defense system weakens, and the chances of serious conditions like cardiovascular disease, memory loss, and depression slowly increase. I've witnessed this pattern so many times before. Previously vibrant individuals who gradually lose their inner light, not because their organs failed or their bones became fragile, but because the essential life energy that powered them was ignored and forgotten. It's completely accurate to say that physical pleasure and intimacy, whether with yourself or someone else, forms one of the fundamental supports of human vitality. Giving up on it because of fear, embarrassment, or wrong information doesn't just rob you of happiness. It actually shortens your life. But there's reason for hope. Reconnecting with your physical self and reawakening sensations you may have forgotten can start a healing journey much deeper than most people realize. It's absolutely never too late to rediscover what your body can still offer you. In fact, this might be the missing piece to achieving better health, clearer thinking, and stronger emotional stability than you ever imagined possible. But what makes physical pleasure so uniquely effective at protecting your mind, your heart, and your ability to remain independent as you age? Stay tuned, because what I'm about to explain could change everything you believed about growing older. If you're still here and these ideas are resonating with you, I'd appreciate it if you'd type the number 1 in the comments to show me you're following along on this journey. Now let's move ahead and discover the important truth in our second point. Throughout many years of practice, I've observed the remarkable but subtle changes that happened in patients who stayed connected to their physical selves as they aged. One fact became absolutely clear to me: maintaining physical pleasure, including personal, intimate expression, wasn't just something nice to have. It was a vital foundation for enduring health and longevity. This might shock you, particularly if you grew up in a time that taught you to feel uncomfortable or ashamed about such subjects. However, what our bodies tell us is stronger than social rules, and the message is quite different from what we've been taught. After turning 60, the human body naturally experiences declining blood flow, reduced hormone production, weakening muscle strength, and slower nervous system function. But research has demonstrated that regular self-intimacy can actually reverse many of these changes. When an older adult engages in intimate self-expression, even without a partner, the body reacts in amazing ways. Blood rushes through the brain, heart, and limbs, feeding tissues that might otherwise start breaking down. Feel-good chemicals flood the system, naturally reducing stress and promoting better sleep. Hormone levels increase slightly, helping maintain muscle strength, bone health, and emotional stability, all crucial elements of healthy aging. Even more incredible is what happens in the brain. Scientific studies show that intimate pleasure activates several brain areas at once, keeping active the neural connections linked to memory, emotional control, and decision-making abilities. Put simply, it helps keep the brain youthful, adaptable, and sharp. I've observed patients who maintain this practice demonstrate clearer thinking, enhanced creativity, and a more positive attitude toward life compared to those who completely withdraw from physical expression. But beyond these biological advantages, something more profound is happening. Self-intimacy after 60 becomes an act of self-respect, a way of declaring that your body still deserves attention, care, and pleasure. It fights against the harmful belief that aging means becoming less than you were. Instead, it serves as a powerful reminder that life can still be experienced fully, deeply, and personally. This emotional reconnection with yourself often leads to other positive changes: better nutrition choices, renewed interest in social connections, even a stronger motivation to stay active and exercise. When patients wonder if it's too late to reawaken this aspect of their lives, I respond with gentle but clear conviction that it's never too late. Your body might require more time, more patience, and a softer approach, but it's still capable of profound, nourishing experiences that energize your spirit and enhance your health far beyond what you might believe possible. Now you might be curious about something. If the benefits are so significant, why do so many seniors still find it difficult to maintain this important connection? The answer involves several hidden and deeply saddening misunderstandings. And that's exactly what we're going to examine next. 3 harmful myths that rob seniors of their vitality. During my years of medical practice, I've seen how easily strong, energetic men and women become victims of silent misunderstandings that gradually drain their life force. Often they don't even notice it's happening until one morning they realize they feel like a pale reflection of who they used to be. These beliefs aren't just innocent mistakes. They're strong, invisible influences that persuade seniors to give up one of their most powerful sources of health and joy. One of the most devastating myths is the notion that beyond a certain age, physical pleasure simply doesn't matter anymore. I've lost count of how many times I've heard people say, "I'm beyond that now," with a defeated, accepting expression. But the reality is that age doesn't eliminate your body's capacity or desire for intimacy and physical connection. It simply changes how that desire shows itself. Abandoning this part of yourself because you think it's no longer important is like choosing to live in a home but never switching on any lights. You might get by, but you'll miss so much richness, comfort, and joy. Another heartbreaking belief is that seeking pleasure by yourself is somehow wrong or embarrassing. Many people grew up during times when personal pleasure was discussed in hushed, embarrassed tones or treated as morally wrong. Those old teachings can settle deep in the heart, creating thick layers of guilt that persist even into the final decades of life. But let me state this with complete clarity and deep compassion in my heart. Taking care of your own body isn't shameful. It's a necessary way of respecting your life, your health, and your inner spirit. There's also the dangerous false belief that saving sexual energy will somehow preserve your overall strength. The truth is exactly the opposite. Regular intimate activity, including personal activity, actually energizes the body's systems, increasing hormones, improving circulation, and keeping tissues healthy. Just like a muscle that becomes weaker when not used, the parts of us designed for pleasure need consistent use to remain strong and healthy. Perhaps the most destructive myth of all is thinking that intimate health exists separately from general health. They're deeply linked, connected in ways that modern medicine is just starting to fully grasp. When you care for one, you're caring for the other. When you ignore one, both suffer. Recognizing these myths is the first step toward reclaiming the vibrant, powerful life that's still waiting for you. But understanding is only part of the solution. What you need now is a clear, practical guide to reconnect with your body in ways that feel normal, comfortable, and secure. And that's exactly where we're going next. If you're still following along and finding value in these insights, please type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're staying with me. Now, let's continue forward and explore the valuable lessons waiting in our 4th point. The renewal approach, reclaiming intimate wellness step by step. When I first started helping older patients reconnect with their bodies, I discovered that most of them needed more than just encouragement. They needed a clear pathway, not vague suggestions or hopeful thinking, but a genuine practical approach they could follow with confidence. That's how the renewal approach came to be. It's a structured process created specifically for the aging body, honoring the changes that come with time while rekindling the essential connection between mind and body that often weakens. The initial step involves preparation. Before doing anything else, you need to establish an environment where you feel secure, comfortable, and won't be disturbed. Adjust the room temperature to your preference. Select a comfortable chair or bed, and keep quality personal lubricant nearby. These simple actions send a meaningful message to your body that you matter, and your health deserves attention and effort. Next comes relaxation. This isn't a competition, and it's not a task to rush through. Begin with deep breathing, allowing your muscles to release tension and your pulse to slow down. Feel the stress leave your body gradually, like water flowing away drop by drop. This basic act of being present can unlock sensations you may have believed were gone forever. Then comes gentle awakening. Here you softly explore parts of your body you might have neglected for years. The upper legs, the lower abdomen, the chest area. Touch these places lightly with gentle curiosity rather than criticism. Pay attention to how your body reacts, even in small ways. These reactions are proof that your body is still alive, still ready to connect with you. Next is mindful stimulation. Without any pressure or specific expectations, you slowly introduce more direct contact, letting arousal develop naturally at its own pace. Using deliberate, thoughtful movements rather than hurrying creates a richness of sensation that's often missing in rushed experiences. This isn't about reaching a particular goal. It's about appreciating the journey your body is capable of taking you on. Finally comes integration. This is the time to pause, breathe deeply, and appreciate yourself for choosing to invest in your own wellness. Allow yourself to enjoy the sense of being alive, regardless of how gentle or intense it might be. In this peaceful recognition, true healing begins to take hold. This approach isn't about trying to recapture the past. It's about accepting who you are right now, with all the wisdom, strength, and gentleness that come with your years of experience. Once you feel even a small spark of reconnection, you'll realize just how much possibility still exists within you. But even with the right approach in place, the path isn't always easy. There are common obstacles that can easily throw you off course. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to avoid the mistakes that most seniors accidentally make, so you can stay on track toward lasting vitality. Overcoming obstacles, what to expect, and how to thrive. Whenever I help someone through the renewal approach, I always remind them that genuine change rarely follows a straight path. It's completely normal to experience moments of uncertainty, frustration, or even discouragement. I've seen this happen repeatedly, not because people don't want to heal, but because they unknowingly stumble into difficulties that make the process harder than necessary. Understanding what to expect and how to handle challenges can mean the difference between giving up and truly transforming your health and energy for life. One of the most frequent challenges involves unrealistic expectations. Many seniors think that if they follow all the steps correctly, they should immediately feel like they did in their 20s or 30s. When that doesn't occur, disappointment can take over. But the truth is that your body has evolved, and that's not a problem. It's simply part of living. Success now should be measured not by how quickly you achieve intense pleasure, but by how much you reconnect with feeling, comfort, and awareness. Even small improvements are signs that healing is happening below the surface. Another barrier is inconsistency. Just like building muscle strength or improving flexibility, rebuilding your sensual connection needs regular practice. Only participating occasionally when you happen to feel like it is like watering a garden once a month and expecting it to thrive. Schedule time 2 or 3 times each week, not as an obligation, but as an expression of self-care. Your body will respond to this consideration in ways that will slowly amaze you. Performance anxiety is another hidden obstacle. When you focus too heavily on achieving a specific outcome, it creates tension and tightens the exact muscles and blood vessels you're trying to relax. Release the expectation that every session must end a particular way. Welcome the experience itself. Any feelings of pleasure, however mild, are successes to celebrate, not compare to youthful memories. Finally, shame can hide in the background, quietly sabotaging your efforts. Many men and women carry old, buried emotions that whisper things like, "This isn't right," or "I shouldn't want this." If that inner voice appears, respond to it with kindness, not harsh judgment. Remember that seeking pleasure isn't selfish or foolish. It's part of honoring the amazing body you still possess. Getting past these challenges isn't always simple, but it's absolutely worthwhile. Every step you take, every moment of patience and self-compassion strengthens not just your intimate vitality, but your overall spirit and inner strength. As you build confidence, you might find yourself ready to embrace something even more powerful: the complete restoration of your health and energy through a simple but transformative system designed specifically for this stage of your life. Get ready, because what I'm about to share with you could be the most important change you've ever made. Your right to flourish, reclaiming what's yours. As we reach the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this essential truth. Your body, your health, and your right to experience pleasure don't end when you get older. They change and adapt, certainly, but they don't vanish. Reclaiming this aspect of yourself isn't about trying to turn back time. It's about respecting the life you still carry within you, the resilience that has brought you through decades of trials and victories, and the spirit that continues to endure. I've witnessed men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rekindle an energy they believed was permanently lost. Along with it, they discovered renewed health, self-assurance, and happiness. You deserve that same transformation. It starts with a single decision: to believe that you're still capable, still worthy, still fully alive in every meaningful way. Begin modestly, remain patient, treat yourself with kindness, and remember that every step you take toward reconnecting with your body is a step toward a future filled not just with additional years, but with more richness in every year you have. Your life story isn't finished yet. Decide today to continue writing it with courage, respect, and the completeness you were meant to experience.